Hi, this is Stephanie with Move Within Yoga. Thank you for joining me. Our sequence today is going to be really focused on letting go into 2020. I've talked before about the close of a decade, not just a year, but a close of a decade. And a decade that pressed a lot of buttons. And in terms of thinking of it in as terms of negative events or shocking events or traumatic or amazing events, to think of them as just experiences here that perhaps made us plumb larger emotional depths than I think for some of us we expected at the time. I heard from a couple of people here, Teresa in the Netherlands. Thank you for writing on just your thoughts on the decade. And again, it was, I'll read a little bit of that. I really had to think this over, and being asked to contemplate this decade, it's not something I do on a daily basis, and wow, what a revelation. And again, she really outlined the shock in her relationships, ending a 12-year relationship, starting the decade with a big ending, and then a surprise new relationship coming up, and just, again, mining deeper terrain than she had expected. And then my friend in the UK, and I'm not going to mention his name here, but he just described it as weird. And again, weird is one of those labels that's probably, I don't know, the most helpful in describing this, but he gets into this, the change in his professional life and getting into the investment banking world right as it exploded in the late 2000s, and then how he just kind of had to pick up the pieces in 2010s, and again, not what he expected. So while a new day always dawns, and our days are pretty much on some level similar. I mean, for me, it's the same home, and the sun comes up and the sun sets, and I have the same people around me and the same animals. Things are never quite the same, and they never really repeat. And so it's very easy to think, oh, well, it's a new decade, and yes, what changes, but on one level, quite a bit does. And it's to just be conscious of what is coming in, what is coming out, maybe past experiences and habits or things we had to learn to cope with that we don't need anymore and that we can let go of. So it's not so much changing the outward physicality of our life, but more internally, those beliefs, the habits, the thought patterns, the mental structures that really keep us from receiving new experiences in a new day, a new year, a new decade. So just hold that in mind as you work through the sequence of letting go. So we're going to start Yoga Mudra, and that is just sitting on your heels. If it's difficult, you can grab a blanket or a cushion to prop yourself up a little bit. But really, a lot of the yoga work here, it's just you and your mat. But again, I do encourage you grab a blanket, grab a cushion. You're going to want to grab the left wrist with your right hand. So grab your wrist, but do it behind you. And sitting up nice and tall, lengthening out. It's a rhythmatized movement with the breath here. So we'll be inhaling and exhaling on the way down. Open the throat, forehead comes to the ground. And then once it reaches the ground, hold your breath. And then inhale. And as you do, you're raising yourself back up. As soon as you come back up, exhale again. Forehead to the ground, hold the breath. Inhale up. And exhaling down. Inhaling up. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Inhaling. And exhaling. Hold your breath. Inhaling. And exhaling. One more time, inhaling up. And exhaling down. Hold your breath. And inhaling up. Exhaling. And just recover. And shake it out. Shake out the arms and rotate the wrists. Come sit down and just shake the legs out a little bit here. And rotate the ankles. And soles of the feet down. Bring your palms behind you, fingers pointing towards your bum. And engage with your sit bones, belly switched on. Bend your elbows and just coming up, reverse tabletop, head and neck hang back. And come down and just swing up into it again. And down and up. And come down. Sitting on your sit bones. Left leg long. We'll do single leg stretch. Bend the right foot in on your sit bones. Throat nice and open. So cervical spine in the back. Lifting up. Arms up. And coming over the leg. Lengthening out again through the neck. Lengthening out. Drop the left hand to the left foot or left calf, whatever you can manage. Arm over. And just observe the breath here. Wait for the body to calm down and the breath to calm down. And then you can turn and look over into the right hand, lift up through the whole spine. And again, this throat is lengthening, the neck lengthening as you turn the head to twist into the hand. And coming back over. Palms up. And other side, lengthen out the right leg. Coming up. And lengthening out. Right hand to right side of the foot. The left arm opens out, twist into it. Observe the breath here. Just wait. Observe until the body calms down and the breath calms down a little bit. And then you can lift up through the spine and lengthen into a little bit if the body allows for it. Twist into it. Look at the left hand. And then coming back over. Palms up. Legs out. Coming a little bit further down, we're going to do a preparation for fish. So you're going to want to make the shape with your hands. Interlace the thumbs, index fingers together, and you're going to sit on that, okay? So you're going to sit on that little structure with your hands and bend your elbows. And lift up through the upper chest. Head and neck hangs back. Lifting up through the chest. And head and neck hang back. Breathe into it. Don't hold the breath, in other words. Soften the hips into the hands and lengthen up through the chest, hanging back. Engage between the shoulder blades, lifting up, crown of the head toward the ground. And coming up, arms up, and lengthening out. Lift up through the belly in this one, not so much the neck. Lifting up through the belly and lengthening out. And coming up. Let's go into fish again. Interlace the thumbs, index fingers, and we're going to sit on that. Elbows come down. And this time, if you can bear it, lift up through the chest and drop the crown of the head down. So you got to shimmy the rear end up over the wrists a little bit there. The hands stay the same, palms down, crown of the head down, lifting up. Soften the thighs. Now if that's too much, just come to the preparation that we did before. Lifting through the chest, head and neck hangs back. Okay, soften the thighs. And then if you want the more in-depth version, a little bit more advanced, shimmy over the wrists until you can lower the crown of the head down. Open. Let the throat lengthen back. Mouth open like a fish. So soften the mouth, soften the lips. Lift up through the upper chest. And soften the thighs. And then slowly come out of it, lower the head down, back of the head, the neck. Open the palms out. Let the sigh out. Close your eyes. feet together, arms behind you, nice long stretch. Really get into it. Oh, and slowly coming up, or you can stay in it longer. Anyway, thank you for joining me and hope you're well. Take care. Bye-bye.